In this video, we're going to continue our work with graphing linear equations by using a table, but we're actually going to also talk about two important points on the line, on the graph of a line, which are the X and Y intercepts. So let's review what those are. I showed you the y-intercept in the last video, so now let's talk about the x and y-intercepts. So the x-intercept and y-intercept of a line. The x-intercept is the point A0 where the line crosses the x-axis. Okay, so what I want you to notice about that order pair is that it has a 0 in the y spot. 0 in the y spot. So when we have the equation of the line, we are going to solve for the x-intercept by letting y equal to 0 and solve for the x, and that's going to give us the order pair where the line crosses the x-axis or the x-intercept. The y-intercept is the point 0b where the line crosses the y-axis. So now I want you to notice, where is the 0 this time? The 0 is in the x coordinate. So to find the y-intercept of a line, we will let x be 0 and we will solve for y, and that will allow us to find the y-intercept. So now if we find the x-intercept and the y-intercept of a line, then we've already found two order pairs that are on the line, and we need that third order pair so that we can make sure that we haven't made any mistakes and make sure all three order pairs line up. So for that third pair, we get to choose an x that we want other than 0. We get to choose an x that hasn't been used yet and solve for y so that we get that third order pair, and then we'll plot the 3 points on the coordinate system and draw the line through them, making sure that we extend the line on both ends with arrows showing an infinite line, a line that goes forever. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and try that technique with a couple of these problems. Okay, so take a look here. It says graph by finding the intercepts, and it gives us the equation 4x plus 5y equals 20. Do you recognize that as being in our standard form? ax plus by equals c. Beautifully in standard form, right? And so to find the x-intercept, we let y equal 0 and solve for x. You're going to want to make a note of that in your notebook, in your math notebook, and memorize it before your first test, because you will be expected to remember that to find the x-intercept of a graph, we let y equal 0 and we solve for x. So in our standard form, that means 4x plus 5 times 0 equals 20. So there's our y being 0, right? And now we're going to solve for x, and so that gives us 4x equals 20, or x equals 5. And then I want you to give us the x-intercept as an order pair. So that's the order pair 5, 0. Now some books you may get away with being able to just say x equals 5 as the intercept, but I recommend that you get really used to thinking of this x-intercept as the order paired 5, 0. So I'm going to go ahead and graph it. There's 5, 0. Okay, lands on the x-axis. I'm using a scale of 1 unit per little box. Okay, y-intercept. Now for the y-intercept, we're going to reverse the process. Now we're going to let x be 0 and solve for y. So now we get 4 times 0 plus 5y equals 20, or 5y equals 20, or y equals 4. So what's the order pair? The order pair is 0, 4. 0, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Now we could stop here, right? I mean, we have two points and we could just draw the straight line joining those 2 points and that would be it. But what if we made a mistake on either one of those? So we're going to also solve for a different point. So we get to choose another x other than 5 or 0, right? Because those are already represented. So how about, I don't know, I'm liking this symmetry. What do you guys think about -5? Shall we try that? Okay. So I'm going to put that, I need a little bit of room. Let me put it over here. X equals -5. Okay, so 4 times -5 plus 5y equals 20. So I get -20 plus 5y equals 20. Then I'm going to add 20 to both sides, and I get 5y equals 40. Dividing by 5, I get y equals 8. So we just found the third order pair to be -5, 8. So I'm going to come to -5 and then up to 8 right there. Good, those line up. So now let's go ahead and draw our line through the 3 points. And there we go. Okay, let's try on the next one. Same idea. This time we have 8x minus 4y equals -24. So we have standard form, don't we? Now, you may be looking at it and going, I noticed something. I noticed that those coefficients, they are all divisible by 4. They're in the 4's table. So we're going to make the number smaller by dividing by 4 all of the terms. Okay, and you only do this if you can do both sides of the equation. Okay, that's a note to you. And so now I'm going to rewrite this as 2x minus 1y equals -6. And I'm going to find the x and y intercept of this equation, which is an equivalent line, okay? And so again, to find the x-intercept, we let y equal to 0 and solve for x. So y equals to 0, we get 2x minus 0 equals -6, or x equals -3. So we get -3, 0 as our x-intercept. I'm going to come over here and put a -3, 0. There we go. And then for the y-intercept, we set x to 0, solve for y. Okay, so now we're going to get 2 times 0, so -y equals -6, divided by -1 both sides, y equals 6, so we get 0, 6, so I have a 0, 6, 4, 5, 6, and I'm going to pick the number 1. How about x equal to 1 for my third point? Okay, and so then I get 2 times 1 minus y equals -6. So that's 2. So let's subtract 2 from both sides. So I get -y equals -8. Y equals 8. So 1 comma 8. So 1, 8 lines up beautifully. So let's go ahead and draw the line through the 3 points. Yep, there it is. Awesome. Okay, let's do the next one. Now this next equation, we have the line in slope-intercept form, right? Remember that? Y equals mx plus b. We call that slope-intercept form, okay? But again, it's the same process. We're going to let y equal to 0, solve for x, for the x-intercept. So I get 0 equals -3x plus 9. I'm going to add 3x to both sides, so I get 3x equals 9. And then I'll divide by 3, so x equals 3. So 3, 0 will be my x-intercept. And then the y-intercept's kind of nice because when we set x equal to 0 in this slope-intercept form, we just get that 9, don't we? And that's one of the reasons that this form is called slope-intercept form, because that constant, that b, that's the y-intercept with the 0, right? It's the y-coordinate of the y-intercept. Okay, and now we need, let's graph this one, 0, 9. So that's really high up there. So let's pick a number. How about if we pick, how about 6? I'm just being symmetric, that's all. You could pick any x. So y equals -3 times 6 plus 9. -18 plus 9 gives us a -9. So 6, -9 for my third point. Way down here, and they line up beautifully, don't they? And it is definitely a very steep line that goes downhill, doesn't it? That slopes downhill. Okay, so